Hey guys, this is Johnny. This is INFJ INFP Relationship, Love at First Insight. Stay tuned. Welcome to the channel. So I want to say a couple quick things before we jump into today's video. First of all, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. You guys blow me away by your kindness. The channel is growing and I really appreciate it. Return subscribers, welcome back. And if this is your first time here on the channel, please consider subscribing. We talk about all 16 personalities. The other thing I'll say is, you guys, any two relationships, any two personality types can make a relationship work. But I think that some gel better than others, and it's my opinion that INFJ, INFP can make for an incredible relationship, provided that all of the other standard traditional things like trust and honesty and openness and good communication are in place. If those things are in place, I think INFJ, INFP can be love at first insight. I don't want this to be a video about why INFJ and INFP could struggle in a relationship. I'm sure there are stories out there, and maybe you have had a bad experience with an INFJ or an INFP. That's not what I want the focus of this video to be about. I want the focus of this video to be about all of the reasons why it's good and why it can work and why I do believe this can be a great match. All right, with all that said, let's do it. So I gotta be honest with you guys, okay? If I was gonna get married or be in a serious relationship with someone, which right now I am not. I am unmarried. Yes, I'm a single INFJ. They say INFJs are rare. Single INFJs, not rare. I'm single, but I've asked myself, I'm like, of all the different personality types, if I was going to be in a committed relationship or married, which types would I choose? And I have to say INFPs would definitely be somewhere at the top of the list, like in the top 3, top 5, something like that. And what's amazing about an INFJ-INFP relationship, why it could still work, what's amazing about it is they're so different, right? Like they share none of the same cognitive functions. INFJs have dominant introverted intuition and INFPs have dominant introverted feeling. So the INFJ is a dominant intuitive and the INFP is a dominant feeler. And yet we're both in the NF temperament category, right? Well, at least according to Kiersey, we're both NFs. So that those two middle letters, NF, this means that a lot of times INFJs and INFPs have a similar worldview, right? So we're so different for so many reasons, but we're so similar for so many reasons. So I asked myself, like, what would be the most important quality I would want to have in a relationship with someone? There are so many qualities to choose from. And bear with me for a minute, okay? Because we're going to talk about why I chose the title Love at First Insight. I think that it is so important that you have traditional qualities in a relationship like honesty, integrity, openness, the kindness is there. I think setting firm boundaries is important, that the two of you give each other space. I've always been fascinated by the relationships that last. People married 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years sometimes or more. And maybe they're not even married. Maybe they just have a monogamous relationship with each other that ends up lasting a lifetime. One thing that I've noticed from looking at lasting relationships, enduring relationships, not only from looking at hearing stories about people I don't know, but also looking at some of my friends and the relationships they have and the happy marriages that they're in, I've noticed that in almost all cases, not all cases, but in almost all cases, the two people were friends first. Now, that's not to say that there wasn't necessarily some initial physical attraction, right? But there was definitely, like, they clicked. All right, so I think it's important that couples be friends first, or friends, right? Do you guys agree with that? Let me know in the comments if you think that's important. And this is open discussion, you guys, okay? So there are no right or wrong answers. I'm just saying that from my perspective and from my personal experience, I have noticed that almost always the relationships that endure, that last, the happy ones, right? These people were friends first. So how does this tie in with our title for today, INFJ, INFP, Love at First Insight? Well, here it is, you guys, all right? It is estimated that only approximately 25% of our population are intuitives, and the other 75% of the population are sensors. The primary difference between the sensory and the intuitive is that the sensors, they're grounded in the reality. They're focused on what they can see, hear, feel, taste, and touch, what's associated with the senses, right? Intuitives, we notice that stuff too, but we're more interested in the bigger picture. We're interested in what's behind the curtain. We're interested in reading between the lines. We value things like abstract concepts, speculation, theories of all kinds, personality theory, conspiracy theories, even if we don't believe them, right? Intuitives. Only about 1 in 4 people are intuitives. So here's the thing. There are a lot of intuitive personalities running around outside, out in the world, and they don't even know they're intuitives, right? So let's just say that by chance, an INFJ and an INFP happen to meet, and they get to hanging out, and yeah, there's some physical attraction there, but they're not really sure whether or not they would blend or they would mix or mesh well in a relationship. And then all of a sudden, one of them brings up the concept of aliens. There are so many different topics that intuitives are interested in. Let's just take aliens, for example, right? I don't know any INFJs or INFPs who aren't at least curious about aliens. And up to this point, right, they're on the third date and they're like, I don't know, I mean, I'm interested, but I don't really know what would close the deal. What would cause them to fall in love with each other? The INFP throws it out there, talks about the aliens, and you can see the INFJ's eyes light up and they're like, oh my God, yes, this person, we're talking about aliens, right? And then they fall in love. We're united by that intuitive way of thinking that is so attractive to another intuitive, right? Love at first insight. I think if you have an INFJ and an INFP in a relationship and they have good communication and they feel comfortable being themselves and being open and honest about their perspectives, the two can have such stimulating conversations about the mysteries of the universe that, provided that they really are friends, they're true friends, the topics and the possibilities of things to talk about are endless. It's endless. I mean, even if at some point they were no longer physically attracted to each other, and I'm not suggesting that if you lose physical attraction to a person that you necessarily stay in the relationship. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that two friends who are in love and who are in a relationship, who are both intuitive, who both talk about concepts, theories, ideas, imagination. You put INFJs, INFPs together, man. They have a great potential to be one of those couples that can make it 40, 50, 60, 70 years. I truly do believe that because our minds are just that imaginative in talking about abstract concepts and theories, etc. Are you in a relationship with an INFJ or an INFP? Is there an INFJ or an INFP that you want to be in a relationship? Let me know in the comments, you guys. I would love to hear your thoughts and your perspective on this. Take care, and I'll talk to you in the next video.